we need to share the link first. So before you go on live, I think you give us the link somewhere, right?
Yeah, good idea.
So first launch it, then we share, and then go live.
Yeah, exactly. Please generate the link.
Okay.
On the last show, Shallum, you like my pink mic, so I wore a pink shirt today for you.
I like pink. When I was growing up, I used to listen to this band called Aerosmith, and they had a very nice song with an amazing video, Pink.
Guys, we are live. We are live now. I've sent the link.
Yeah, okay.
Best of luck.
Okay. Wait. Okay, are we starting? Or have we started?
It's shared on Shallum's page, right?
I'm not even on Facebook right now.
It's live.
I don't see anything on Shallum's page. Is it live? Are we live? Hi, this is Labik, Kamal, Gaurob, and we are starting the second dialogue, the second session of this Safar Suroon Ka that we're doing with the help of British Council, with my great, fantastic friend and guitarist, Mr. Shallum Xavier. The idea is to have a collaboration between artists of Bangladesh and artists of Pakistan in these trying times, and to bridge between our artistic abilities and find a common workplace and a space together in the future. The first session has been very interesting, where we had some different artists from today. Today we have some new people in our list. We thank British Council for supporting this project, the Arts Council of Birmingham for supporting this project. And the idea at the end of this project, which is sort of a 1 month long thing, we intend to produce a track, which will be a collaboration between artists from Pakistan and Bangladesh, many of whom you will be seeing featured in these talks and the workshops that you will see in the following days. So I welcome you all to today's show. And before I pass on to my friend, my counterpart, Shallum, I would like to introduce my panel today. And the first person that I would like to introduce is Armeen Musa. Armeen Musa does not need sort of an introduction for the Bangladeshi viewers that who are seeing and listening to us. She's a fantastic songwriter, singer, composer, member of the Ghash. Actually, not a member, actually the creator and the founder of the Ghashforing choir. She has her own band, Armeen Musa and the band, and she works for commercial projects and as an indie artist by herself. The fantastic Armeen Musa on my panel. If you would like to say something, Armeen.
Hi, thank you, Bhaiya. I refer to you as Bhaiya because I've known you since I was born. And so honored to be part of this amazing musicians and artists in this panel that I'm so happy to meet today.
Oh, thank you, Armeen. Armeen, I think a musician introduces themselves better with a line of melody or a tune. So I think you should say hello to the audience with a couple of lines if you can. I think that will introduce and do more justice to you as an artist.
Okay, I'm having a little technical difficulty with my keyboard today, so I'll
just the voice is fine. But just a couple of lines, something that you've tuned or something that you like singing. So it doesn't matter. We just need to hear your beautiful voice.
Okay. Jago piya ar ghumayo na, jago piya ar ghumayo na, nishe shapon bholo bholo, nishe shapon bholo bholo, jago piya ar ghumayo na.
I mean,
Really?
beautiful. Sorry, Shallum, to interrupt what you were saying. Did you want to say something?
I said brilliant. And by the way, I love your hair and the sari. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Armeen, that one thing I did not mention before I go on to Nazrul Bhai. Armeen is one of the few people in the country who has actually studied music in a music school. And talking of a music school, probably the most renowned music school in the whole world, where she got to collaborate with some great minds and great musicians. So, I mean, if you would speak a couple of lines regarding your experience as a music student and where you studied.
So in our traditions, usually music school is the Guru Shishya Parampara type, either in Hindustani classical or even that kind of also goes for the traditional Bengali music. You find a guru and you follow them. So for me, someone who wanted to learn about Western music, I think the first thing that I did was I tried to find somewhere where the style of music that I wanted to become was being taught. Because from childhood, that's what I was taught, that to do music, you have to be under a tutelage for a while. And luckily, the tutelage that I found in life was studying at a music college, not under just one teacher, but under many teachers. And it was amazing. I'm one of 5 and the only female who has gone from Bangladesh. And it was just fantastic. It was like a eye-opening experience where you really got to see the level of dedication and excellence that actually is required to be, a world-class musician from our professors and visiting artists and everything. So very blessed, and I hope that I'm doing justice to my studies from the music I'm making, but I haven't, not yet, but I hope I'm trying.
Sorry, I missed it. Did you mention your school name?
I went to the amazing Berklee College of Music, now known as Boston Conservatory in Berkeley. It's now merged 2 colleges to be one. But when I was there, it was called Berklee College of Music.
Fantastic. I also wanted to, I don't think I've mentioned this ever on a public domain, but today I think is an opportunity. Armeen is one of the reason I am a sound engineer today. Basically, she helped me fill up my form when I wanted to get into SAE in London. And she actually, pursued me, like, Bhaiya, you got to do this. And I really want to do it, but she's the one who really sort of backed me up. And it's like, you want to do it, I'll fill up the form, I'll do the paperwork, but you have to go. So thank you, Armeen. I never got to thank you formally for that in any sort of platform. My next guest today is another person who has many sort of identities. For me, I would start with my personal side first. For me, first, he's a teacher. I've started my career with folk music, so all the beats that I know and I understand and the grooves I have learned from this man called Nazrul Islam. And the second identity, he's my bandmate. So we have traveled the world together in different places, in different international folk festivals and international festivals, including WOMAD, Songlines, Dhaka International Folk Fest, and many others. Nazrul Islam has, I think, played. নজরুল ভাই, আপনার সম্বন্ধে একটু কথা বলছি। আপনি কয়টা অ্যালবামে বাজিয়েছেন, আপনি যদি আমাদের একটু বলেন।
2-3,000.
He cannot count because he says 2,000 to 3,000 albums I must have played. So I just wanted to give you an idea, because these guys were sort of the core musician, still are, of Bangladesh, who used to record day in, day out live albums every day for different artists. So he used to be one of those regular dhol players with different music directors, and he himself is also does music direction for folk artists. Nazrul Bhai is also multi-instrumentalist. He plays the dhol, he plays the harmonium, he plays the israj, and he sings a little bit also. So today I will like to ask him to sing a couple of lines also later on. But Nazrul bhai, আমি আপনার সম্বন্ধে, if you allow me to translate this to him, আমি আপনার সম্বন্ধে বললাম যে 2-3 হাজার হয়তো অ্যালবামে বাজাইছেন, এটা গোনা সম্ভব না। দৈনিক অ্যালবামে বাজাইতেন একটা সময়। প্রথমে আমার শিক্ষক হিসেবে পরিচয় দিলাম, যে তাল যা বুঝি যা জানি অনেক কিছু আপনার কাছে শেখা। এরপরে আমার ব্যান্ডমেট হিসেবে পরিচয় দিলাম, যে সারা পৃথিবীতে বহু জায়গায় আমাদের একসাথে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ফেস্টিভ্যালে ঘোরার সুযোগ হয়েছে। তো বিফোর আপনি নিজের হ্যালো বলেন, আমি চাই আপনি একটা তেহাই দিয়ে শুরু করেন, এবং একটা তেহাই দিয়ে তারপরে 2টা শব্দ বলেন, ওইটা আমি ট্রান্সলেট করব সবাইকে। থ্যাংক ইউ। নজরুল ভাই একটু বলেন আপনার সম্বন্ধে, হ্যালো সবাইকে একটু শুভেচ্ছা দিয়ে মানে জাস্ট নিজের পরিচয়টা দেন।
আমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমার নাম নজরুল ইসলাম, আর নাম আর কি বলবো। তো খুব ভালো লাগলো যে আমরা বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে একসাথে সবাই, দেশি বিদেশি, এবং খুব ভালো লাগলো যে আমি এই সর্বপ্রথম ফেসবুক লাইভ। তো খুব ভালো লাগলো যে আমরা সবাই সবারে সামনাসামনি না, হয়তো অনেক দূরত্ব থেকেও আমরা একসাথে, এইটা খুব ভালো লাগলো।
So Mr. Nazrul Islam is saying that this is an opportunity, and it's a pleasure to be here, and I thank all of you, and even though we are not sitting face to face, it's fantastic that we are sharing a screen, and I'm getting to meet new people and new musicians on this platform. So he's always up for this kind of thing, and it's probably his first proper Facebook live that he's doing. So he thanks all of us here. Shallum, I would like to sort of hand over to you and introduce the fantastic musicians you have on the panel. I have introduced Armeen and Nazrul, so if you can take over. Sharif, একটু নজরুল ভাইয়ের মাইকটা মিউট করতে হবে যখন কথা না বলছে।
Well, thank you so much, Labik. It was so wonderful to hear Armeen, Nazrul Bhai, and I'm so glad that we have finally reached the second dialogue. And like you've mentioned, that this idea is to make sure that even after we put this song together, after this cross-cultural musical collaboration, bringing musical heritage from Pakistan and Bangladesh together after a long time, because as far as I remember, I've been in the Pakistani music circuit for over a period of 2 decades. We have not done an official collaboration with the Bangladeshi musicians. I've been quite lucky, and I want to call myself fortunate to travel with Fusion and perform in Dhaka 3 to 4 times. I love the music culture. I love the food. I love the people. I really don't like the traffic. I'm sure something must have been done after that. I'm sure the traffic is fine now. But no, it's not. She's shaking her head. So whenever I used to come back, I used to think that besides the performances, we have never been able to do something together. So when this opportunity sort of came to me, and I filled in whatever concept I need to write, and I heard about it, and it was selected, I was actually very, very happy. So the reason why we are doing this is to, first of all, make sure that we are not sitting idle at home during this crazy period that we're all going through, and every day we hear something extremely unpredictable. At the same time, it's an opportunity to learn from each other, learn from the musical culture that we have all been a part of, and also have an interesting dialogue, because what we see on TV or on the internet are a lot of people sharing their perspective, but I rarely see artists coming up with their own sort of a method to deal with different situations. So every talk, so we have, once again, if people are not aware, this is our second creative dialogue discussion. We will also have 4 workshops, and the most amazingly talented Labik is conducting our first, which is happening on the 20th. We are really looking forward to it. So every discussion, it's tomorrow. Sunday is a fun day. So today's topic is very interesting, and it fits to the time that we're living in, is creating or seeking or making opportunities in testing times. It doesn't have to be a pandemic. It could be a personal reason we are going through a turmoil. It could be a political reason. It could be a security situation like Pakistanis go through every now and then. we've sort of gotten used to having strange lockdowns. These lockdowns are because of obviously the pandemic, but living in Karachi, we've had curfews, we've had a lot of political security issues, but we kept on going, we kept on producing, recording. So the reason why I chose this subject or this came to my mind was how creative people like us take this forward. So I'm going to throw questions at everyone, but before we move forward, I would also like to introduce the amazingly talented, gifted artists that I have today with me on this panel here in Karachi. We will start with the lady first. Jenaan Hussain is an accomplished actress. She is doing a lot of plays. She is extremely popular, but she's also at the same time an upcoming singer. And I will sort of give this opportunity to her to share her experiences and also tell us where she wants to go from here, and also put some light on what she thinks this collaboration will bring for her. So here you go, Jenaan.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Jenaan Hussain. Shallum ne thoda bahut introduction to karwa diya. But first I would like to sing something because this is what it is. First, you should hear my voice and my soul in that song. Jiya mora mange darshan tora, man ki sune nahi sajan mora, raat gaye maine deep jalaye, bhur gaye par wo nahi aaye, jiya mora mange darshan tora. So that was a little introduction of my voice.
What a beautiful introduction. What a beautiful introduction. Great, great.
Now, the question that Shallum asked, thank you so much. So the question that you asked was that what do I get out from this collaboration and where I go forward from here, is that I believe in collaborations. Collaborations are the way to go. And for me, I'm a painter as well. Whenever we used to paint, our teacher would come sit with us. She would talk to us and we would just all sit with our ideas, and then even the individual paintings would come out of it, all right? The acting projects that we do, that's how they are made. So it's completely a collaboration. So in music, when I
Okay, I think we cannot. Jenaan is not there. Okay, what we will do, she's back. Your microphone is on mute. And it is. Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. Yeah, continue. You were saying.
So, you know, from here, what I think is that I will, abhi ka to hamara jo collaboration hai wo ho jayega, but I would like to stay connected with every one of you. Be it we do a project together or individually with each other, but that's what I'm hoping that it will happen from here onwards. And that we, after the corona ends, we go to Bangladesh, meet everybody personally, work with them, and we also come here and work with all of us.
Wonderful, wonderful. So
absolutely, Jenaan, we look forward.
Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful voice. And this is what we are looking forward to. Once we are all vaccinated, I don't know when that will happen and what that will do to us. That's also a big question.
Yeah.
We will start working like normal human beings. That's happening. It's going to happen very soon, right before the elections in the United States. Let's take this forward and introduce another extremely gifted individual from the city of Karachi. His name is Ghaffar Ghani. मैं थोड़ा सा उर्दू में बात करूँगा ताकि गफ्फार को हम शामिल कर सकें. गफ्फार कराची के एक ऐसे इलाके में रहते हैं कि उसके बाद कराची की खूबसूरती शुरू हो जाती है. Ghaffar lives in this place called Maripur. Now Maripur is right before the beautiful beaches that we have in Karachi, And every now and then, when you decide to go to the beach, you stop at Maripur to buy something, to buy water or, well, I would say cold drinks, because you need them when you go to the beach. And that town is like it's the soul of the beach, because that's the only town that you have before you hit the beach. Ghaffar comes from Maripur, and Maripur is very close to where I live. So गफ़ार अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएं, अपनी म्यूजिकल जर्नी के बारे में बताएं, कुछ गा के सुनाएं, और ये भी बताइए कि आप आगे जाके क्या करना चाहते हैं.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. पहले तो आप सबका शुक्रिया कि आपने मुझे इस एजाज़ बख्शा कि आप लोग के साथ बैठ के कुछ सीखने को मिले और अच्छा एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिला जो कि इंटरनेशनली एक कोलैबोरेशन है बांग्लादेश और पाकिस्तान की, तो मेरे लिए एजाज़ की बात है. तो म्यूज़िक की जहाँ बात है, मैंने स्टार्ट कहाँ से किया था? स्टार्ट तो मैंने 2016 में किया था और एक पॉलिटिकली सॉन्ग मैंने रिकॉर्ड किया था. तो वो जो फ्लॉप हो गया था, मतलब लोगों को पसंद नहीं आई वो चीज़.
पॉलिटिकल गाना था.
हाँ, वो एक
पार्टी जीती कि हारी?
पार्टी जीती.
चलो फिर ठीक है.
सॉन्ग फ्लॉप हो गया, तो उसके बाद उन्होंने मुझे, लोगों ने क्रिटिसाइज करना शुरू किया. उसके बाद मैंने कहा नहीं, अब मुझे ये म्यूज़िक करना है, मैं इसको सीखूंगा. तो उसके बाद मैंने सीखना शुरू किया, घर में रिकॉर्डिंग्स क्रोके पे करना शुरू की. उसके बाद एक गाना रिकॉर्ड किया, उसके बाद अच्छी पजीराई मिली. तो उसके बाद मैंने म्यूज़िक को कंटिन्यू रखा और अभी तक कंटिन्यू रखा हुआ है और सीख भी रहा हूँ. प्रोफेशनली मतलब किसी उस्ताद से नहीं सीख रहा, यूट्यूब वगैरह पे या किसी का सॉन्ग सुन के गाने की कोशिश करता हूँ, उसी ज़रिए सीखता हूँ.
कुछ जरा गुनगुना के सुनाएं अपने जबरदस्ती आवाज में सबको.
जी जरूर. गुलों में रंग भरे, बादलों बहार चले. गुलों में रंग भरे, बादलों बहार चले. चले भी के गुलशन का कारोबार चले. गुलों में रंग भरे, बादलों बहार चले.
थैंक यू सो मच. बहुत खूबसूरत है. मेहदी हसन खान साहब को गाना बड़ा एक मुश्किल काम है. वो अपने अंदर खुद एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है और कमाल की गज़ल गायकी की उन्होंने तमाम दुनिया में. सो Labik, do you want to translate what he said or is it okay? Your microphone.
আরমিন নজরুল ভাই কি বুঝতে পারছেন ও কি বলছে নাকি ট্রান্সলেশন করা লাগবে?
বুঝি. ও ওনার কথাটা কিছুটা বুঝেছি. হ্যাঁ,
নজরুল ভাই বুঝতে পারছেন ওনার কথা? No, they're fine. Understood.
They're fine. Okay. Oh, let's take this forward. We've had our introduction, and what beautiful panel we have all over. So I'm going to throw some questions at everyone, and let's start with the man in the pink kurta, Mr. Labik.
Yes, sir.
So this is a very interesting, since you're a music producer, and we as producers and composers are not only composing music, but actively also trying to get projects or attract projects or fish for projects. Very extremely difficult task. So you fish for it, you get it, you work on it, you deliver it, and then the most important thing, you wait for your payments, right? It can take a while, it can take forever. So I'm not going to go into that detail. It's a separate discussion. It's going to be a 4-hour. So how do we, or how can we navigate through rough periods when situation around us is not conducive for music production or creativity? It could be, number one, a political turmoil. It could be a pandemic, which we have just learned that this can also happen to the world. It could be security situation, because living in Pakistan, or especially Karachi, we used to have this quite often. The city used to shut down. There was terrorism, so on and so forth. Natural disasters that we have recently seen with the torrential rains that took Karachi away, and it could be own personal reasons. So, as an artist, as a music producer, how do you wake up every morning, inspire yourself, put your head together, and work?
Well, Shalom, if I want to say from my side, before talking about the testing times, I think it's how you approach something, going more to the basic. So as a music producer, when you're looking at a song, you're looking at the song as a guitarist, then you're looking at the song as a bass player, then you're looking at the song as a drummer, as from different perspectives of how things come together. So when getting projects, and for the new musician, which I mean after the internet has arrived, it pandemic or no, musicians sort of have to sort of gather all their skills and work beyond their capacities to sort of bring things together. For example, like a music label used to just produce something, and all you do before is just produce a record and give it to them, or forget a record, produce a demo and give it to them, and they would invite you to record it. They would pay for the recording and they would market it. This has already changed. So we have been sort of going through this transforming process over the last 10 years, 15 years, of where we sort of market ourselves online, create our own little videos, do little Facebook lives, little engagement things continuously with our audiences, sort of bring ourselves out of that, you know, situation we got into when CDs, got pirated and stopped selling and out of the market. So we were all in a sort of unknown area. So how will our music go somewhere in the right way where we receive the money? So music was being created, but it was sort of going in all directions with no control, no one sort of, in the West, yes, there was some sort of, there is still some time needed for these things to come in line. But for countries like ours, India has caught on before us. But in Bangladesh, we're still in the process of, formalizing the digital platforms and the transparencies where artists trust all these companies, where how the revenue is generated, and if they're sort of giving the right amount of share to the artist. So this is a debatable project. So this pandemic or the testing time, I think, is an extension of that. It's nothing, because we have been sort of becoming independent. We are independent musicians. In terms of independent musician, we understand one meaning that, we do our own music. But the term independent musician has changed its meaning, in the sense that you are the marketeer, you are the performer, you are the producer, you are the sound engineer, and then you create projects, you make proposals, you send to people. So it's all these things, our skills are needed together to sort of survive in this new world of technology. So, we have been looking at these kind of things, not just for the pandemic, but we have been, sort of preparing ourselves for the last 5 to 10 years, looking at, how to generate money from streaming platforms, how to get into better sort of deals with companies, with cafes, live places as well, where we can have a regular sort of thing. I myself, I run a sort of a food court, in my business, where we started in January. We presented one of the big rock star in Bangladesh called Bappa Mujumdar, and then Shayan Chaudhry Ornob in February, and it's a 500 people venue, but it was fully packed, and it was going really good. So we're trying to sort of do a sort of a musicians sort of hangout space where, it's ticketed and people would be paid properly, but only quality musicians would come and play. So these are things we are trying in the physical. In the online and other side of world, after the pandemic started, all of this stopped. So we don't know what to do. So people were doing lives, and it started, lives started popping up crazy, where no one was being paid a penny. people thought we were sitting at home, so let's start doing live. They would invite an artist, call me, sing two songs, 3 songs, and they would not talk about any fund. And that's what, and we did 2 to 3 shows like that without talking of any money, thinking, okay, fine, things are starting, let's see how it goes. And but it, people try to take advantage and they continue. So it's better not to depend on other avenues and how people project you, and find your own way to sort of create projects. For myself, I've done few tracks for development. Normally we approach ad agencies and companies to get commercial work, for ad films, for other jingles and stuff like that. But in this time, that companies are investing less in marketing, companies are investing less in jingles and all sorts of exposures that they need. So I found a way with a big institution called BRAC, for whom I did a track with the great Mumtaz Begum, very famous vocalist of Bangladesh, where I produced one of her tracks, and it was the cause of Corona. But the lyrics were related to how people should follow, what they should do. And in that process, we also made another song by ourselves, between us, and we haven't sold it yet, but we're still pushing to government agencies and showing that, okay, this is something we created, we want to sell this. So if something comes, taking that opportunity and not just waiting on it, but also sort of taking another step to create some more out of what has come to you. And also try and create new sort of collaboration projects here and there. For me, I have collaborated with a fantastic sarangi player from Delhi, Yusuf Khan, who Suhail Yusuf, who sort of collaborated with me on the sarangi, and we did original addressing the times of Corona and how we are sort of facing and looking forward. So a song of hope and a song of how we can get out of this situation. So there's no formula. They're different. For me, it's different avenues, and keep your eyes and ears open and try to find opportunities where you can use your skills and sort of move forward. And at the same time, of course, whatever you do, you'll not be busy enough like the normal time. So I think it's a fantastic time to build skills. So I was mentioning in the last talk that I just have it here. I spoke about it, but I didn't show. This is an instrument that I sort of picked up in this Corona times. It's a small little percussion instrument, but I've been playing strings all my life, but never my hands on leather. So if you allow me to play it a little bit. So
very nice.
So this is a small thing, that I invested time. I invested some time on learning video editing on iMovie and Final Cut Pro to sort of do my own little things, cut live shows, and so that I can upload them regularly. So I think the new musician has to be prepared for all sort of technologies and sort of gather all these things and push everything together rather than just the music. And this pandemic or a testing time is just an extreme version of that. It's not too different for the musician, apart from the live music situation.
Thank you so much. That was a detailed explanation. Taking things forward from here, I've been to Bangladesh. I've only been to Dhaka, but I've seen and experienced an extremely rich musical culture. And this is a question for Nazrul Islam Bhai and Armeen. What are the foundations of the musical heritage of Bangladesh? Why is it so rich and vibrant? And it is not just the pop music; it's also the Sufi music. It's also the cultural, the traditional music. And what do you see as a performer? What do you see when you are out amongst people of different musical backgrounds? Why has it become so vibrant in comparison to what we do in Pakistan? Because we're still trying to create a culture. And why is Bangladesh better in that manner?
If I can reply, I don't know if it's better or worse, because from where we're standing, it's sometimes we see the productions that's coming out of Pakistan, and we really are absolutely blown away by the production quality, the arrangement quality. In Bangladesh, we do have few of us, doing world-class work, but I think I won't say that Bangladesh is better or worse. I'll say that we probably excel in a couple of things more, and then the Pakistan music scene excels in a couple of things more. But
Armeen, if I may interrupt a little bit, maybe what Shallum is referring to is that now Bangladesh hosts a lot of international festival, including festivals. So a lot of classical. There has been classical festival where John McLaughlin has come, and there are different Sufi festival, classical festival. So these sort of gatherings where international people are coming and sort of performing in Bangladesh.
And I have been to one. I actually have been to one festival, which was at the Army Stadium.
Rock fest?
No, it was a classical. No, it was a classical festival, classical music festival at the Army Stadium, and I've never seen something like that.
That's about 60,000-70,000 people, but every day for 5 nights. It's crazy. But now it's sort of not continuing for some government reason. Anyway, Armeen, please continue.
No, so I think that in that context, I think the patronage has really popped up in Bangladesh in the sense for these international festivals, and for whatever, these companies, they have their own goals and achievements. So I think they sort of include the rest of the world to also be introduced to Bangladesh through these festivals as well. And I think that's an aspect of our corporates who are investing in these international festivals. But on the flip side, I would say that I am, in terms of production, we're still struggling. We're still struggling on an average production level is not as amazing as we can be. I think we're going up all the time. But yes, in terms of live music, Bangladesh is amazing. There is always something happening, whether it's the local music or whether it's the indie, the small little venues. And I think that's one of the reasons why the pandemic has been devastating, myself included, and 90% of my profession is being a live musician. So it's been devastating in the sense that that was our life, that was our job, being around other people. And I think definitely the plus side has been that we've gotten some time to work on our skills and self-reflection and everything. But I think the vibrancy of the scene also comes from the roots of our culture. And I will ask Nazrul Bhai to elaborate on that, as he would be more versed. Nazrul Bhai, আমাদের দেশে আমরা এত গান বাজনা করি, এত ভালোবাসি, সব সময় গান বাজনার মধ্যে থাকি, এটা আসলে একটা হিস্ট্রি বা এটা একটা সাধনা, এটা সম্পর্কে যদি কিছু বলেন।
নজরুল ভাই মাইকটা মিউট আছে, একটু মিউটটা অন করতে হবে শরীফ। নজরুল ভাই, শরীফ নাই এখানে?
গুড।
নজরুল ভাই যেটা জিজ্ঞেস করছিল, যে বাংলাদেশে পাকিস্তানের থেকে সে মনে করছে যে গান বাজনার সিচুয়েশন আরো ভালো, ভাইব্রেন্ট, মানে সবাই অনেক বেশি উৎসাহ, এবং জিনিসটা অনেক ভালো, এখানে ভালো করে এখানে লাইভ হচ্ছে। তো আপনি এটা কি কারণ মনে করেন, মানে যে আমাদের দেশে যে গান, মানে এখন তো একটা খারাপ সময় যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু নর্মালি সব সময় তো আমরা গান বাজনা বলেন, ফেস্টিভ্যাল বলেন, এই ধরনের জিনিসপত্র রেগুলার আমাদের কিছু না কিছু হতে থাকে। তো সেটা সম্বন্ধে শালাম জানতে যাচ্ছে যে সেটা বাংলাদেশে আপনি কি মনে করেন, কেন এটা এরকম, এটা কি কালচারের জন্য, আমরা কি এরকমই জাতি হিসাবে, না মানে কিভাবে আপনি দেখেন বিষয়টাকে?
বিষয়টা হলো, আমরা তো সারাক্ষণই গান বাজনার ভিতরেই থাকছি। তো আমার মনে হয় আমরা তো একটা সময় গেছে যে প্র্যাকটিস করার কোনো সময়ও পাইনি, সারাক্ষণই বাজাচ্ছি। তো এই যে বাজাচ্ছি, এর ভিতরেই তো সব আমাদের শেখা হচ্ছে, সাধনা হচ্ছে, আমাদের সব কিছু আদান প্রদান এইভাবেই হচ্ছে। তো খারাপ না, আমার মনে হয় যে এটা আমাদের অনেক ভালো। আমরা যেভাবে শুরু করছিলাম তো এইভাবে তো হতেই চলছে, তো ভালো মনে হয় যে সাধনার বিষয়টা এই এর ভিতরে হয়ে যাচ্ছে। যেমন আমার একজন বড় ভাই ছিল, উনি আব্দুল রব ফকির কুষ্টিয়ার, ওনারা যখন আমি জিজ্ঞাসতাম যে সাইজি কেমন আছেন, ভালো আছি, মানে কখনো উনি বলতো না যে আমি খুবই খারাপ আছি বা ভালো নাই, সারাক্ষণ ভালো আছে। এই যে একটা বিষয়, মানে শিল্পীদের মনের যে একটা আবেগ, আমরা তো সবসময় ভালো আছি। তো আমার মনে হয় না যে আমরা কখনোই খারাপ আছি। যতই করোনা যাচ্ছে এর ভিতরে ভালো আছি, এই লকডাউনেও আমরা ভালো আছি।
What Nazrul is saying that that this has sort of this is of course work for us, but this is more a lifestyle for us. So we are talking, sleeping, and walking music all the time. Sometimes, like before, he sometimes never had time for practicing because either he would be on the stage or in the studio, so no time for himself to practice. But that has how life has been, whether in a professional scenario in Bangladesh or in a village where this form of music, the folk music of Bangladesh, the Baul music of Bangladesh, is quite common entertainment for the locals, whether it's paid or not. Shalom, talking about these things, two additional points that came to my mind, I think, which can be mentioned, is also a political stability, which I think is a very important thing for hosting live events. That's one thing I think Bangladesh has managed better in the recent times,
Absolutely.
in terms of handling chaos and making the concert venue safe. That's one thing. The other thing is the religion and anti-music sentimental people, the amount of people that we face also, because we are a country with 90% Muslim, but a percentage of that is quite hardcore in the sense who oppose the free exchange of ideas, music, and things like that. So this also something that we are faced, but I think it has somehow been managed and in sort of in under control. And of course, this has all to do with also empowering women, and also because seeing everything in the same level, with lots of young people working in the garments of Bangladesh, the psyche has sort of changed and sort of progress, where the women are earning the income in the family. So this is not just a cultural change, but also a psychological change that has come to this country over the last 20 years. And of course, it's bringing a very positive impact on the music, audiences, in terms of number of audience that appear on our show, and the number of audience we get to present our music to.
I'm so thrilled and so happy to hear that, because when you were speaking and being an artist, I was sort of imagining how things are and how people have evolved, how the culture has evolved, and there's so much acceptance. And like I said, obviously women empowerment changes a lot of things, because women teach their children, and the children then go into the
Absolutely. I
society.
think that is one of the main reason Bangladesh is moving forward.
So I would actually also sort of put myself in Armeen's and Nazrul Islam's shoes, because 60 to 70% of my life is being on stage with my band Fusion. And but also I was concentrating on my studio because I needed to have like a plan B, not because of the pandemic, but obviously you know how it is. You cannot only rely on live performances because they don't happen every day. So what I did, and I would like to share this with a lot of people who are watching this, I started teaching music online. And I was already teaching media in a university, but then I realized that if I can do it, I should do it, because you know what it was doing to me was, when I was teaching, I was practicing, and I was sort of creating an image for myself being on stage. So when I used to play and teach, I used to imagine being on stage. It was very hard to do, which means that I had to go, put myself a ponytail, shave, wear a nice shirt, put on a cologne, go to my room, turn the computer on, and start teaching. So I sort of created that space in my head so that I don't miss the energy of the stage, because it's not just you giving out the energy, it is also you receiving a lot of energy back from the audience, a lot of happiness from the audience. So those chemicals were missing. And considering we live in Pakistan, you don't get other chemicals to sort of replace that. So now I would like to ask a very important question. And Jenaan is with us, and she's been extremely active in the media. She's a very popular actress of Pakistan. And with her thoughts, I also have this question that when you become a part of this collaborative effort as an artist, as an upcoming singer, what all, in your opinion, should we do? What all can be done musically, creatively, artistically, since you're also a painter? So you're like a full 360 artist from everywhere. So if you can't sing, you'll paint. If you can't paint, you'll go and act. So you're the lucky one. So tell us, all of us, uh, how you, as an upcoming singer, see yourself and us take this forward. What all can we do besides just doing a song and a video, which is actually very hard? Labik would agree with me, taking all the tracks and putting them together. It's going to be a tough job. But where do you see this? Hopefully, inshallah, we'll do something nice. So give us your point of view, please.
Okay, first of all, you were talking about the high and the chemicals and everything. So I have started from theater and I used to sing and dance and act all together. So when I started working in TV, of course, you do not get that kind of high. So I immediately started missing that chemical I miss the most. Being on stage, singing, dancing, acting, and me, from when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I just wanted to be on stage. Be it I act over there, be it I sing over there, because naatein bhi padhi or meri nagme bhi pade or gaane bhi gaye, sab kuch kiya, whatever comes under this, noha ho gaya, everything, you know. So yeah, I miss that high the most. Then you ask me that where do we go from here? Yes, we of course make a song. Yes, we of course make a video out of it, and then, but the problem is how do we get it out there? Because in Pakistan, what I feel is it's so hard getting things out there because you have to go meet this person, that person, that person, that person, and thousands of people who will just not get your vision. At times that happens too. But today I was just thinking that yes, we will make our songs and everything, and we go another route. Maybe we make animated videos out of it, change it, like stop motions and involve painting in it, and not just the videos that we generally make for songs, like go creatively more into it. So that's what I was thinking. And for our collaboration, how we go forward is all I kept on thinking about was how we just keep working on this every day. Meet maybe virtually, or like I can come wear my mask and meet you, of course. And we sit and we make things, and that's how we go forward. And then maybe approach brands to come on board with us, the PR companies, so that it just goes immediately out.
So, well, that's also what we would like to see once that vaccine is injected in us. Don't know what will happen after that. So we can travel to Dhaka. Yeah, we can travel to Dhaka. We can ask Armeen, Labik, and Nazrul Islam to come to Karachi, and maybe we can all sit on a boat and make that journey to Dhaka.
No, absolutely, and also it's not just of course we can travel all the way to Pakistan and you can come to Bangladesh. This is all fine, but in this time of technology, all you need is a BPM and the scale. So if you have something,
Absolutely.
a track which needs a different sort of voice or a different sort of instrumentation, all it takes is a Facebook message and say, Labik, can you try something? If you don't like it, don't use it. But what's the harm of trying something? At the same way, if I can send something to Shallum and I'd be honored if possible. Shallum can come back and, dude, I'm really busy for 2 weeks. But yes, third week, I'll find some time to do this. So if it works, it works. But we collaborate and bring things up. And I was speaking to Wakas, who's managing this project also, before we started, actually, that I have some projects in mind, not just to involve, Shallum and the people, also people like Mikal Hassan and other friends that I have in Pakistan And so I have a couple of things in mind which I talked to Wakas about. So we are talking about which haven't. I don't know if he spoke to you, but we'll sort of follow it up after this whole sort of thing ends.
So Wakas doesn't mention anything when it comes to Mikal. He doesn't mention it to me.
Okay.
It's a guitar player thing. But so this is something that I had in mind. और ये मैं उर्दू में इसलिए बात करूंगा कि गफ्फार आप भी हमारे साथ शामिल हो. आप खामोशी से इतनी खूबसूरत दाढ़ी लेके बैठे थे. तो मैं ये आपको एक सवाल है और ये मैं I will translate that in English कि as artists, as singers, हमें इतना तो ये पता है कि अभी we are not out of this health crisis, not in Bangladesh, not in India, not in Pakistan, not anywhere in the world. How can we, यानी हम कैसे अपने networks, यानी अपने दोस्तों में, अपने मोहल्लों में, अपने इर्द गिर्द लोगों को, क्योंकि हम creative लोग हैं और हम तरीके को समझते हैं, हम sensitive हैं, हम atmosphere को समझते हैं, हम क्या कर सकते हैं ज़्यादा कि लोग हमारे इर्द गिर्द जो गाइडलाइंस हैं उसको फॉलो करें और इसको मजाक ना समझें. So let me translate that in English, that as artists, what can we do, what role can we play to ensure or just to make sure that people around us in our networks, people that we're not meeting a lot of people, but if you're meeting people or if you're connecting with people, they understand that the health crisis is not over and they should follow the instructions laid down by their local governments and the International Health Organization. So I think Ghaffar se shuru karte hain since he has not got an opportunity to speak. So मुझे बताएं पहले आप, and then anybody who's willing to add, please add. And you can also share this with Nazrul Islam.
जहाँ तक सर इसकी बात है कि जो SOPs हैं लोग उनको फॉलो नहीं कर रहे, उसकी वजह सारी यही है कि लोगों को मिसगाइड किया जाता है, कि लोगों को कहा जाता है कि ये सब ड्रामा चल रहा है, तो इस वजह से लोग SOPs को मतलब ध्यान नहीं देते उस तरफ. तो जब शुरू में कोरोना शुरू हुआ था तो उस टाइम लोगों ने एहतियात करना शुरू किया था. अब जब जाके थोड़ा सा लोग इस चीज़ से हट गए हैं, तो एज एन आर्टिस्ट जहाँ तक बात है कि इस तरह के अगर कुछ मेरे भी फॉलोअर्स होंगे जो मुझे सुनते होंगे, जो मुझे देखते होंगे, इसी तरह मैं उनके लिए वीडियोस बना के या लाइव आके उनके लिए कुछ मैसेज बना सकता हूँ, या इसके अलावा अगर इसके बरक्स में कोई सॉन्ग बनाऊँ लिरिक्स, तो इस तरह मैं
क्या आपने कोई गाना बनाया?
नहीं सर, इस वक्त तो मैंने नहीं बनाया क्योंकि मेरी राइटिंग इतनी नहीं है ठीक, तो इसीलिए मैंने तो कोई नहीं बनाया. खैर मैं एक सजेशन दे रहा हूँ आपको कि हो सकता है ये
हो सकता है. अच्छा, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. अगर मैं आपको कुछ अल्फाज दूं तो आप गा के सुना सकते हैं उसको गाने के तौर पे?
कोशिश कर सकता हूँ.
चलें, ठीक है. So I mean, I will take this question, and so this is for everyone. So how do you sort of educate the people in your surroundings, in your network, so that you can bring the numbers down, and we can, if not go back to the normal life, but at least develop more confidence in making ourselves this hope that things will get better. So how do you educate people in your network as performers and artists to take all the protective measures? I mean, Jenaan, Labik, Armeen.
Yeah, Armeen, go on.
I think sort of there is a danger of saying things out of fear. So I think saying things in a positive way, that the more resilient we are now, the closer the concerts are, the closer our vacations and our travels. Absolutely. Like a positive way to. I think it's not working anymore just to say coronavirus will kill you. It's really people have disregarded that fear now, and have at least where in Bangladesh, other than the essential services or the people who must go out to work, people have sort of gone back to a sense of normal, because they just, there's every human beings have a threshold, and they can't be fearful all the time. So I think a positive way of inspiring people to stay engaged in more online things and sort of wait this out together as a community instead of just being like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm out. So I think the more we stay online and the more we encourage people to stay online with us, I think might be helpful.
Did you try and make a song on this subject?
I have not made it, but
can you make a song right now?
Can I make a song right now? I don't know if you can hear my...
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can see you.
We are all in this together. You are one and I. Find our way in the turmoils and the love. And then, etc., etc.
Very nice. Beautiful.
That was a challenge well taken.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I loved it. Nice.
Like for me, Shallum, I think for me, I have to go out a bit. I have, I apart from the music that I do, I'm also involved with an office, and I'm involved with the shoe factory. And so now we're trying to restart the factory and get customers back and start production and stuff like that. So I have to go out and sort of, you know, for meetings and stuff like that, of course, maintaining social distance. But I've sort of drawn a line that I will only go out for work purposes and not hanging out or chilling out or meeting someone. So if I'm going for that particular time, I'm doing that. Another thing that I do out of person, not as a musician, but as a person, every time I see a person without a mask, I ask them, where's your mask? So that's something that, you know, it bothers people and it irritates people. I see people spitting on the street, which is a bad thing. You know, people from the subcontinent do, and out of habit. So and it's this is a good time to sort of remind them, you know, there's corona, and what you're doing is sort of normally you wouldn't go and stop spitting because you
know why they spit? Do you know why they spit?
I have no idea.
They're helping the city to clean the roads because we don't get too much water. So they spit everywhere to make sure that the city doesn't have to spend money on water.
So I take it as a mission to see, you know, to just talk to that person, whether that 15 years old or 50 years old, that, bhai, why are you doing this? This is, you know, we want to live. So, you know, this is, if you want to stop, this is the time, you know. And so in a humorous way, but not attacking way, but I still want to be a nagging person so that gets into the head.
So for example, you're wearing a mask and you're coming out of a meeting and you're on the road, you're on the street, trying to wait for your automobile to get into, and you see a person not have a musical instrument with you. What would you sing?
Shallum, sorry, I lost you. I lost you for. So I'm waiting for the car.
You're waiting for the car, and you see a person not wearing a mask. Okay. And you don't want to talk to him. You want to sing to him. What will you sing?
Oh, I have a nice song in mind. Let me.
I like that instrument.
Okay. So let me sing two lines from my. So this is a song by Fakir Lalon Shah, and it says.
Wow.
बिना पकल गोरिए काची बिना पकल গড়িয়ে কাছিরে মন করছো নাচানাচি ভেবেছো কামার ব্যাটারি ফাঁকিতে ফেলেছি জানা যাবে এসব নাচন কাচিতে কাটবে না যখন কারে করবি দোষী বচাই অস্ত্র টেনে কেবল বচাই অস্ত্র টেনে কেবল বচাই অস্ত্র টেনে কেবল লড়ছ মিছামিছি রে মন লড়ছ মিছামিছি ভেবেছ কামার ব্যাটারি ফাঁকিতে ফেলেছি So it's very difficult to translate Lalon Fakir, but I will try my level best to sort of bring the words across in a relevant way. So here, Lalon Fakir is saying, we can fool other people, but we cannot fool ourselves, and we cannot fool our creator. So here, Lalon Fakir is saying, Bhebecho Kamar beta. Kamar is a person who works with the iron, the metal. Person who, and if I am the metal, I cannot make the metal maker, the Kamal, understand my character or my. So he created me. I cannot fool him. So, and a metal cannot be sort of strong by itself. It needs to be an alloy. So the sadhana, it comes, the practices, it comes. It takes time to make oneself strong. So where I'm getting to is, if we are not wearing this mask, if you're avoiding all this, who are we actually fooling? We're not fooling another person. We're actually fooling ourselves, and we're actually putting ourselves at risk. So, and you're not actually, you don't need to explain to somebody and making somebody fool. You're actually being fooled yourself. So stop being foolish and fooling yourself rather than fooling other people. So that's somehow what Lalon says in a way in the song.
Thank you so much for sharing your music. It was so beautiful. I went somewhere else. Sitting in Karachi, I think I traveled to Dhaka without getting on a plane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Very beautiful. So nice, so nice. Jenaan, are you there? Jenaan, microphone
Yes.
on. It's time
Yes,
for
sir.
So once again, I'll give you a situation. You are at a shoot. Okay, you are at a shoot. And you have your cameraman, your light man, and your fellow actor.
All right.
And before the scene, because scene mein to mask utarna padega. Before the scene, there are 5 to 7 people having a conversation, and they are loud, and none of them are wearing a mask. What song will you sing for them?
I think preferably go for Rabba mere haal da mehram tu Rabba mere haal da mehram tu Rabba mere haal da mehram tu Rabba mere haal da mehram tu. I would definitely sing that because if I'm not being able to explain it to people, then I would go directly to God and just tell him that Allah miya aap hi ko pata hai what is happening inside me, what is happening everywhere. So just make these people understand, just send them some telepathic something so that they start using the
Oh, I think we lost. Oh,
Can you
now
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you now. We can hear you now. Hello? Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Where did you lose me? Like,
You were talking about that if you cannot uh, have an impact with words, with just talking to them, you would probably sing this song because you would want the creator to
yeah,
shower his blessings and save you
yeah.
from them. Yeah.
Yes,
Save you from the rest of them.
yeah.
So this cult that is being formed here now, is that an appropriate word to use, Lapik? I don't find cult a wrong word. I think cult is a very nice word.
Yeah, I don't find anything wrong with cult also.
Yeah. So this cult that we have of musicians and artists and creative individuals with so many different diverse and extremely fascinating backgrounds. Once again, like I said, that the song is going to take an effort, and Labik can completely understand that it takes a lot of time, and hopefully once we meet, we can take things forward. And since Armeen also mentioned that she had the opportunity and is listening to the production of Pakistani artists and the way the music is evolving as far as musical productions are concerned, because we've had a pop industry for a very long time. This is for Armeen and Labik, you, and Mr. also Nazrul Islam. What artists have you heard from Pakistan in the recent past that have really, if not inspired you, but to sort of made you think that there's something good happening here?
I think for me, I don't know if it's recent, but I love Zeb and Hania, I've sort of met them in London, and I've just been fascinated with what they do. Of course, for me, I'm not the best, most updated person, but from Pakistan, it's been you guys, Mikal's band, Zeb and Hania, and other things that we've heard from Pakistan are more sort of traditional, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, Abida Parveen, and people in that line. But not much of the pop stuff that I've heard. But singing, songwriting stuff, for me, Zeb and Hania really did it.
But
what about art?
Studio has definitely been the prominent thing that has come out of Pakistan in the last, I think, 9 years. So there's no doubt that that has been the main exposure for the rest of the world to Pakistan's music. And even though that itself has its own individual sound, even inside the songs, we can see the level of musicianships across all the guest artists at all times, which is so inspiring as well.
I mean, one thing that I wanted to add, we have Wind of Change, which is also of international standard, but it's not done by all in-house musicians. Like in Pakistan, the Coke Studio, which is done, is mostly Pakistani people doing it. We have a lot of international artists coming and doing a collaboration, which is fantastic, and it's a great experience for to learn. But to produce that level of sound and doing it with all sort of internal Pakistani musicians, I think is amazing. I think even the Indian Coke Studio was not up to the Pakistani Coke Studio standard, which is my personal sort of opinion.
Yes, I think of course, each project gets its own sort of sound, but from a place, what I gather, where you don't perform as much as maybe Bangladesh or the neighboring countries, I think that has been keeping you significant and studio. And I'm sure there is a lot that's missed in Coke Studio as any big productions go, that we probably don't see like a big section of it, or we probably see a very concentrated section of Pakistani musicians there. But that's what the whole world is exposed to, not just us.
But Salam, I wanted to ask you one thing. It's talking about studio recordings and production. Do you still have orchestras and a group of big pool of session musicians in Pakistan?
So yes, we have an amazing pool of session musicians, as far as an orchestra is concerned, I would try to place orchestras in different formats. So you, like a band of 7 people is also an orchestra. A symphony orchestra is also an orchestra. So we don't have a symphony orchestra. We don't have many violin players, cello players, harp players, because we never had that Western classical exposure in Pakistan, because predominantly the Eastern classical was so rich with ghazals and thumris and Sufi and Qawwali that people actually did not find it very attractive. But yes, we have orchestras. We have orchestras of sitar players. We have some amazing sitar players here. We have some brilliant tabla players here. So yes, in terms of live music, both contemporary and traditional, I think Pakistan has a huge talent pool, and talent is also understating it. There are a lot of extremely established and professional musicians who are playing not only in Pakistan, but their music is also taking them to different parts of the world. And I'm talking about both contemporary and traditional. I would also like to ask, not a question, but lay down a situation in front of Mr. Nazrul Islam that you can translate, that if he was standing in a crowd with a dhol, but not too close, obviously at a distance, because when he plays, people can also get in his way. And if he sees people not following the so-called SOPs of the current situation all over the world, what beat, yani chal, would it be 4x4? Would it be 3x4? Would it be 7x4? What kind of a chal would he play? Can you just ask him?
Shallum, should I ask him that, or should I ask him to sing a couple of lines, because he's already
Yeah. Okay. I mean, whatever.
Which for the volume of it cracked up, and we could not hear much of it. So
exactly.
I think, and because he sings a little bit, maybe it's just technology friendly, more technology friendly to have.
I can understand. I can completely understand.
নজরুল ভাই, তো একটা জায়গায় আপনি আছেন, নজরুল ভাই আনমিউট, আপনাকে আনমিউট করতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, আপনি একটা জায়গায় আছেন, আপনার আশেপাশে প্রচুর লোকজন। হ্যাঁ, এখন আমরা তো মাস্ক পরার নিয়ম, হাত ধোয়ার নিয়ম, যা 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 নিয়ম আছে, এগুলা কেউ মানছে না। এখন আপনি এটা নিয়ে ওই জায়গায় আসলে মানুষজনকে কোন গানটা আপনার মনে পড়বে, যে এই যে মানুষ উল্টাপাল্টা করতেছে এবং এটার জন্য ফলটা তারা পাবে, বা আপনিও এটার মানে ফল পাইবেন, কোন গানটা আপনার এটাতে মনে হতে পারে? বা তখন যদি 2টা লাইন গাইতে হয় আপনার, যে গান গায়ে বুঝাইতে হবে ঘটনা বিষয়টা কি। আমি তো বললাম যে কামার বেটা গাইলাম, এরকম একটা সিচুয়েশন আমার ফালাইছে। হারমিন গাইলো একটা গান, এখন আপনারা বললো যে ঢোল বাজাবেন নাকি, আমি বললাম ঢোল তো আগে একটু বাজাইছে, আমি ওটা বলি 2টা লাইন গাইতে, ও একটু গানও করে।
এখন কি গানই করতে হবে তাহলে?
আমার মনে হয় একটু করে গান করেন।
ঠিক আছে, একটু। তো
কোন গানটা করবেন আপনি?
অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটার উপরে তো গান কোনো রেডি করা না, যে
কিন্তু কোন মানে যে আপনি চিন্তা করেন ভাবের গান কোনো আছে নাকি যেটার সাথে লিংক করতে পারেন? আমি যেরকম একটা কামার বেটা লিংক করছি, যে আমি নিজেরে তো আর ভুল বুঝাইতে পারবো না, তাই না? মানে যে বুঝাইলে আরেকজনের বুঝাইতে পারবো। হ্যাঁ, তো আমি নিজের উল্টা বুঝাই লাভ নাই, যেটা বুঝানোর দরকার নিজে। তো আপনি একটা যে কোনো একটা গান, কি গান আপনার মনে পড়বে?
তা আমি একটু লালনের গানই করতে পারি, যে 3 পাগলের হলো মেলা, আমরা তো সব পাগল। তো তখন সেটাই ভাবতে হবে যে সব পাগল একসাথে।
আপনি হাতের প্রেসারটা একটু কম রেখে করেন, ঢোলের আওয়াজটা যখন বেশি হয় মাইকে ফেটে আর শোনা যায় না। গানটা গান একটু আস্তে বাজেন।
3 পাগলে হলো মেলানো দেশে, 3 পাগলে হলো মেলানো দেশে, তোরা হলো মেলানো দেশে, তোরা কেউ যাইস না ওই পাগলের কাছে, তোরা কেউ যাইস না ওই পাগলের কাছে, তোরা কেউ যাইস না ওই পাগলের কাছে।
So what he was saying, tin pagol, do you understand pagol?
No.
Mad, 3 mad men.
Pagal. Yes, pagol. Yes, it's a pagol word.
So 3 madmen got together, and be careful, don't go close to them. So, but there's a big philosophy behind it. which is Chaitanando, Choite Nite Nityanando and Aditya, তিনজনের নাম এখানে আছে. This is there is a philosophy behind this whole song, but he sort of in this situation he could fit in this song that, you know, three crazy people are there, they're not wearing masks, don't go close to them.
Very well described, very well described. I'm so happy that you know, when a musician of that caliber comes up with an idea, uh, it makes you not only understand but also makes you a little joyful. So it's a very interesting and a very fascinating blend of the way a live performer thinks and communicates. It's a different level. So I was, you know, the reason why I said that, because when we are invited to a lot of television shows to promote our, well, this is pre-COVID times, before COVID, BC.
Yeah,
So, so you know, we could get introduced to people who are you know, stand-up comedians, and they have their own point of view. So they always tell us that, you know, the timing of a joke that a musician cracks, it is much better than a stand-up comic. So the way he described the situation made me go back to that scenario. So if any of you would want to come to Pakistan, who would you like to meet and which city would you like to go to first?
For me, rather than cities, I would say I love Qawwali, Pakistani Qawwali music, and if I had the chance, I would take my dotara or my percussion instrument and not go and meet a huge star like yourselves here, but a very group of traditional musicians, and try and sort of jam and get the feel of the traditional, you know, Pakistani Qawwal and folk.
Armeen, if you come to Pakistan, maybe in January after getting vaccinated,
My vaccine.
Where would you?
I am on the same boat as Bhaiya. I would love to be, you know, exposed to all the musicians that I'm so enamored by, including the indie artists to the, you know, traditional qawwals. I have loved the music of Pakistan since I was a child, and I've loved the ghazals as well. Has been very, very highly influential in my life. So I would love to just go from one, you know, music venue to another. I think there's like these live open air venues I've seen online in front of like palaces and stuff, palace-like mansions. In the winter, I'd love to attend those kind of soirees.
Nazrul Islam. If Nazar Bhai travels
Nazrul
with the
Bhai,
whole...
আপনি যদি পাকিস্তানে যান জানুয়ারিতে, আপনি কার সাথে দেখা করতে চাইবেন বা কোথায় যেতে চাইবেন বা কি ধরনের মানুষজনের সাথে মানে কি করতে চাইবেন? Oh, I forgot to mention, I'd definitely go to the, you know, Lahore. I think there's a big kebab street. I'm a big meat fan. So I think before going to the Qawwali place, I have a stopover for kebabs and then go there. Nazrul bhai, sorry. Jokes apart. আপনি যদি পাকিস্তানে যান, আপনার একটা কোথাও বলা হয় যে কাকে মিট করবেন বা কোন ধরনের মিউজিশিয়ানস হোক বা কি করতে চান পাকিস্তানে, সেই ক্ষেত্রে আপনার মানে জিজ্ঞেস করলে আপনি কি করতে চান? যে কোনো কিছু মানে
আমার সর্বপ্রথম আশা ছিল যে যদি আমি মেহেদী হাসান সাহেবরে যদি দেখতে পারতাম তো খুব ভালো লাগতো। তারপরে পরের ব্যক্তি হচ্ছে আবিদা পারবেন, আমি ওনার খুব ভক্ত। তো আমরা একসাথেও প্রোগ্রাম করছি দিল্লিতে, বাংলাদেশেও আসছিলেন। তো এই দুজন আমার খুবই অন্তরের একজন, মানে থাকে না খুব কাছের মানুষ, সবচেয়ে বেশি ভালোবাসি তাদেরকে। একটু আগেও মেহেদী হাসানের গান শুনে আসছি।
What he's saying that, you know, if I had the chance to meet Mehdi Hassan, or the next person would be Abida Parveen, and he said that he you know, we had the opportunity of sharing stage with Abida Parveen in the Dhaka International Folk Festival, which we, you know, really sort of cherished, and it was an opportunity for us to see someone that close, 20 feet difference, and how the face and everything reacts with every note. It was a different experience. So he was saying that he had the opportunity of sharing stage with Abhitav Arvind in Delhi, and also in the Dhaka International Folk Festival. So these are the two people. And just before coming here, he was also listening to Mehdi Hasan. So that's what he mentioned also.
I'm so glad. I mean, if he was 20 feet closer, he could have gone forward and sort of not waited for the 20 feet. Minimize it. Make it 6 feet now, not 20 feet. So thank you so much. I think we've had a very fulfilling is the word.
But Shallum, I want, if as I started today's session, I'd like to end it also. And of course, the host has, when I'm talking, I can also imply little things. So I'm going to trick you into ending the show with a beautiful guitar piece that we have all been waiting to listen to. So today,
after what you played on that instrument, how do you expect me to sort of do something?
No, please.
If the boss man is saying this, then we have to stop playing. Next show, then I'm not playing at all.
There is no boss man. There are only boss women.
True. I agree. but just two lines, Shallum. Don't put us away with our request. We want thank you everyone for watching us. Thank you for being with us for so long. We had a wonderful session with all these wonderful musicians. There's just to repeat the panel again. Armeen Musa, fantastic singer, songwriter, vocalist, composer. There's Ghaffar Ghani, the fantastic singer from Pakistan. Nazrul Islam on dhol. There's Jenaan Hussain, and Shallum, Xavier, and myself, Labik, Kamal, Gaurob, being moderators / musicians who are sort of participating today. We're going to finish off with a little touch of love from the man himself, Shallum.
Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, I need to go on stage again.
All of us.
Make everyone wear those masks so we can do all of that. Thank you, Jenaan. Thank you so much. Thank you, Labik. Thank you, Nazrul Islam bhai. Thank you, Ghaffar. Thank you, Armeen. Beautiful sari. Wonderful. Great. And we shall now start working on the song. Labik has a track.
Yes.
Yeah.
all the best. Have a great weekend. Eat the most amazing food that you can. Bye
Signing
bye.
off. Thank you. Okay, bye
All
bye.
right. Take care, everyone. Hope to meet you all
Once
soon.
again, thank
Bye.
you. Thank
Jenaan,
you.
let's add each other on Facebook and keep in touch, yeah?
Yes.
Ghaffar, Facebook पे
Yes, all of us. Let's do that.
Okay, signing off.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Bye bye. Bye bye. All the best.
Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you.